Hey, good evening. Welcome to Dinner Chat. Midwest Survivor here. So thank you to everybody that has subscribed to the channel thus far. We are at 15 subscribers. We are 35 away from 50. Once we hit 50, we're going to do a giveaway. So be sure to click like and subscribe and win yourself a prize. First prize, second prize, third prize, and then all 50 will receive something. So tonight's Dinner Chat is we're talking about probably one of the most frustrating, emotionally exhausting patterns that you can encounter in any relationship. And tonight's Dinner Chat is why they never take responsibility. So why do some people never take responsibility? Whether it's spouse, parent, friend, coworker, or leader, you've probably met someone who seems incapable of saying, "I'm sorry, I was wrong, I hurt you, I need to do better." Instead of every conversation becomes another excuse, another deflection, or even another projection, another reason why someone else is to blame. If you've ever walked away from one of those conversations, shaking your head, feeling confused, feeling guilty, questioning your sanity, you are not alone. Believe me, I'm one of those people that has been right there with you. And tonight we're going to explore why some people avoid accountability and what it does to people around them, and why taking responsibility and being transparent is one of the greatest signs of emotional maturity. Accountability is a choice. It's a choice that every single one of us makes every day to be accountable. There are no exceptions. Nobody is exempt from this. The healthiest people aren't those who never fail. The healthiest people are the ones who are willing to admit when they do and when they are wrong. Accountability begins with a simple but powerful decision. I'm going to own my part in this situation. And that is not weakness. That is strength, because admitting fault requires courage, honesty, responsibility, accountability. So here are some reasons why people avoid responsibility. For some people, admitting they're wrong feels deeply threatening. They fear weakness, that they may look weak. They fear losing control. They fear feeling ashamed. They fear being rejected. They fear the damage to their reputation. So instead of facing those uncomfortable challenges, they protect themselves by avoiding responsibility. And sometimes they do it consciously, and sometimes they do it unconsciously because it has become such a habit, such a knee-jerk reaction that they themselves barely recognize or realize when they are doing it. Either way, the result is the same. Problems remain unsolved. The difference between a mistake and an identity is that healthy people understand this truth. Making a mistake does not make you a bad person. It just makes you a human being. And unfortunately, some people believe if I admit I was wrong, then I must be worthless, or I must be flawed, or I must be messed up. When someone ties their entire identity and their entire self to always being right, accountability becomes impossible. Growth starts when we separate our worth from our mistakes. So there are many faces of avoiding responsibility. Avoiding responsibility doesn't always look the same, but it sometimes sounds like blame. If you hadn't done that, I wouldn't have done this, or I wouldn't have reacted this way. Denial, well, you must be imagining things because that never happened. Minimizing, it really wasn't that bad, you're blowing it out of proportion. Deflection, what about what you did? Playing the victim, I'm the one who's always treated unfairly. Silence, refusing to acknowledge the issue at all. Different methods, same goal, avoid accountability. Why does it leave you feeling confused? One of the hardest parts of these conversations is that often, with you defending yourself instead of discussing the original issue, you bring up one concern. Suddenly you're explaining your tone, your timing, your motives, your past. Everything except the original problem. And that's why many people leave these conversations exhausted. The issue never gets resolved, it just gets redirected. Accountability builds trust. Think about the people that you trust most. Chances are they're not perfect, but when they make mistakes, they probably say things like, "I misunderstood," "I'm sorry," "I'll make it right." That builds confidence because you know honesty matters more than their pride. Trust grows where accountability lives. Excuses keep people stuck. Every excuse delays growth. Imagine trying to improve at anything while refusing to admit mistakes. You will never learn. Relationships work the exact same way. Growth requires honesty. Without accountability, problems repeat, trust erodes, resentment grows, and distance increases. Eventually, people stop believing promises because nothing ever changes. Actions speak louder than apologies. Sometimes people apologize and nothing changes. An apology without changed behavior becomes another pattern. Real accountability includes acknowledging the hurt, recognizing when someone is hurt and when you have hurt someone, taking responsibility. It's my mistake, I made it, I own it. Making amends where possible, trying to make things right, to do the right thing. Working to change future behavior. The apology isn't the beginning, it's the finish line. So stop carrying someone else's responsibility. Many survivors of unhealthy relationships begin carrying burdens that simply aren't theirs to carry. They think that if I explain it better, it'll be okay. If I apologize again, it'll be all right. If I try harder, it'll be okay. They'll finally understand. The reality is they don't, and they won't. You cannot force another adult to take responsibility. You can invite honest conversation. You can express your perspective, but you cannot make someone choose accountability. That choice belongs to them. There's a cost of never admitting you're wrong. People who refuse accountability often lose more than they realize. They lose trust, healthy relationships, respect, opportunities to grow, emotional closeness. Being right all the time may protect the ego for the moment, but it often damages many relationships over time. So here's what healthy accountability looks like. Imagine hearing, "I didn't realize how that affected you. I appreciate you telling me. I need to work on that. I'm sorry." Those simple statements create space for healing. They will never erase the past, but they open the door for a healthier future. Becoming the person that you always needed. If you've spent years around people who never accepted responsibility, you have an incredible opportunity. You can choose a path that no one else has chosen before. You can become someone who listens before defending, admits mistakes without shame, learns from failure, apologizes sincerely and corrects the action, treats accountability as a strength and not a weakness. That's how cycles are broken, not by perfection, but by humility. One of the greatest signs of emotional maturity isn't always having every answer, always having the right answer, or just having an answer, period. It's having the courage to admit when you don't, and having the courage to say, "I don't know." Healthy relationships are not built by perfect people, because there are no perfect people. They are built by people who are willing to own their mistakes, learn from them, and grow together. So open your mind and ask yourself this question. When I'm wrong, do I defend my pride, my ego, my position, or do I do everything I can to protect the relationship? That is the one question that has all the power to change a marriage, a family, a friendship, a workplace, and even entire communities. So what is one lesson that you have learned about accountability? that has changed the way that you handle conflict? Or, and here's another thought, has someone ever apologized to you in a way that truly helped rebuild the trust? What made that apology completely different? Please share your thoughts in the comments. I'm going to be posting a discussion on tonight's dinner chat topic. So please contribute to the discussion and include in the comments. And remember, strong people aren't the ones who never fail. Strong people are the ones who have the humility and the grace to admit it, and the courage to learn from it, and the character to make it right. Remember, this is not about just surviving. This is about thriving. Midwest Survivor, as always, get healthy, be healthy, stay healthy, get strong, be strong, stay strong. I'll see you tomorrow morning for Breakfast Bits. Have a good evening.